As well. We've got more coming up. Oh, let's toss it over to John Bruce right now.
It is Trial Tuesday, a new ride-sharing program called Uber making its way to the Lowcountry, but not without a few legal hurdles to get through. Attorney David Ayler here to talk about the controversy surrounding Uber. He's even Uber eager to defend any driver out there. And David, Uber runs successfully in many other cities like Charlotte, Atlanta, Boston, New York. So what is the problem it seems to have here in Charleston?
Well, so far as a problem that is faced in similar cities, and that's about whether or not it follows under those municipal ordinances or even county issues related to actually driving taxis and being in a transportation industry.
It seems the crux of this argument right now is that Uber does not have a business license or any plans to file a business license in the city of Charleston. Does that inherently make it not able to operate a business here in the city?
Well, that depends on whose argument you're looking at. Obviously, Uber has a certain type of format and plan that they use in every city they go into. And like you said, they're all over the country, even all over the world. And with that, they don't look at themselves at the same business model as perhaps a limousine company or a taxi company, more a ride-sharing company that is a way for individuals to earn money for themselves at the same time providing safe rides around the area.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because they claim that they are a ride-sharing service. They are not, in fact, a taxi or limousine or livery company, which is giving them a little, I guess, legal wiggle room in this sense. So what they're saying is that they connect drivers to people who want to ride. So they are not, in fact, a business. Is there any kind of legality? Is there any kind of truth to that argument?
Well, that's going to be dependent on the way they look at the issues within the local courts. This has come up in many other cities across the United States. But what you just described is exactly it. The difference between working as a driver for a taxi company or a limousine company and what this situation is that basically you have these individuals who are vetted and go through a process to become on the list, if you will, and then they work under the Uber flag in the sense that they can be located, and people like you or me or anybody else that needs a ride quickly and efficiently can provide them, your information and get connected with them. It's different than just, of course, paying a fare for a taxi cab.
Right, exactly, and that inherently comes in with the argument. Now, talk to me about insurance-wise a little bit. Uber says that they cover each ride, each driver up to about $1 million per ride.
Right, and you've heard some issues related to why these drivers don't have commercial insurance themselves because, of course, again, they're just everyday citizens that are doing this for extra money, which I think is a great thing. But what you have also is under the Uber umbrella themselves, they personally cover it. They cover it. The business itself covers it. This is a business that's backed by Google, so it's worth billions of dollars, and, there's no shortage of funds when it comes to, backing of it as a whole and backing of each individual driver.
I've heard that local law enforcement also says they're going to set up some kind of sting operation to try and catch these drivers in the act while it is still not approved for use here in the city of Charleston and Charleston County. And you have something to say about that as well.
Ultimately, I've looked at it to where I don't see why that these drivers should be cited for anything, and that's why my office made a statement just saying that we'd be happy to help any driver free of cost, pro bono. A lot of times you offer pro bono to different types of situations. This is one I felt strongly about simply because I've used Uber in the past myself. I have no affiliations with the company. I just feel like it's a good company, it's a safe company, and it's something that can help a lot of people, particularly when we have issues with drinking and driving and things like that, and lack of the availability a lot of times of the transportation, since we're not a major city, even though sometimes we have major city numbers.
In your opinion, where does this legal fight go from here?
It'll be interesting to see. I think you have a lot of supporters, and I know I've personally seen that for the Uber program here. And like I said, they face backlash in other cities and come out ahead as well. So ultimately, hopefully there'll be a compromise made, some sort of city license if they have to have that, something that compromises the city to the degree that they're happy with what Uber has done, the steps they have taken, but at the same time doesn't take away from the program as a whole.
Absolutely. So right now, Uber is going to go to the state, and there's an office there that kind of regulates business, and they're going to try and convince them that they don't even need that business license. Is that correct? And how do you see that playing out?
Well, and that may be where the agreement can be made, somewhere to meet in the middle of if they do decide they got to have a business license, what it is, and how they go about using that business license, or if in fact they can show they are in a different situation and they ultimately don't need that license.
Is Uber allowed to continue operating here in the Holy City right now?
As of right now, per what has come out from city organizers and things like that, they're saying that it is not legal right now. At the same time, I think that's really up in the air until it gets in front of a courtroom.
All right, Attorney David Ayler, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it as always. Stay with us. More Low Country Live in just a moment.
Trial Tuesday, brought to you by Attorney David Ayler.